Alright, we're live. Welcome everybody to the Interlagos circuit in Brazil. This is JKeSport Tier 2, Round 19. We are here for the Circuit de Interlagos, one of the more beloved circuits on the calendar. Should be an exciting one tonight. Looks to be overcast skies, a track well known for weather affecting the race. We've got a few guys getting started for this qualifying session. We have Razgriz, who is the first driver on an outlap. Gonna take a second here to check my audio settings, make sure everything is all good. Okay, there we go, we're back. As we said, Interlagos, it's a very short lap, but it's not an easy one by any stretch of the imagination. Here's Razgriz making his return in a reserve role tonight for the Aston Martin team. He's going to be the first flying lap of the session. We'll ride along board. Heavy braking zone, 50-meter board, turn 1 of the initial Senna S's. You can see it validates a little bit, so we're going to jump on board with somebody else who's on the lap right now. I think that'll be Limp Check for the Haas. Crossing the line once again, 50-meter board for the heavy braking zone of the Senna S is very easy to invalidate, as we saw. You want to take as much of the curb as possible through here. Just really maximize that lap time. Open the DRS wide. You can take a few different lines on the exit of turn 3. Down to turn 4, another heavy braking zone. You want to ride the inside curb as much as possible. Avoid that outside curb. It can spin you off, but he does very well there. There's Limp Check up the hill towards turn 6, 50-meter board down to 5th gear, and back up to 6th for the tricky turn 7 and 8. Very easy to lock up through there. We could see some overtaking through there as well. The long turn 9, very difficult on the wheel to master. Then turn 10, another heavy braking zone. You could see him locking up the right front there. Down towards the run towards Juncal, which is essentially the last corner of the lap. It's important to get a good run through here so you can set yourself up well for the run to the line. Looks to be a pretty solid lap from Limp Check. We're going to see what kind of time it will be when he gets to the stripe. It's going to be a 109.0, so that's a solid lap to start. There's Boy 4 on the mediums with a 10.0. Let's see, Ray going fastest with a 108.9 on the medium, so very good pace from the AlphaTauri driver. I believe he was last week's race winner in Hungary. So looking very good so far. Trying to check the next driver. Here's Los Mendigos making his Tier 2 debut tonight, reserving in the McLaren. Let's see what kind of time he's going to get on the board here. And he goes third fastest with a 109.5. S.C. Smith, the championship leader, finds himself second on 109.0. That is a good lap time right there. And here's Banshee at 109.2, and we're tracking, I think that's VTEC just behind as well. 8th fastest with the 110.4. Skester going to be next across. He is invalidated, so he'll have to go again. Here's Razgriz finishing up what I believe is his second flying lap after we saw that first one get invalidated. Up to the line, it's going to be a 9.5, so that is 5th fastest. There's a Williams just behind. That is Spaceman going second with a 109.0. So a very good lap from Spaceman there. Chaos here with all the cars so close together. Here's Boudagou, and he goes fastest, so a 108.7, a very good lap. Again, we don't know what the weather forecast is looking like for the race. See quite a few guys on the medium, so we can assume it's going to be dry. But here's Banshee up to the line. He improves, but it's not enough to move him out of 7th. Los Mendigos, he's well up in his time, so likely not pushing on this lap. VTEC heading into the pits as well. So we'll catch Skadster, see if he's going on for another lap. It looks like he will be. See if he can improve on his 16th place time, and he does. First drive into the 107, so already time starting to drop like crazy. The Spaceman is next. He's heading into the pits. So we'll jump on with Razgriz. He is also heading into the pits. So Boy 4, he's over 3 seconds down in his time, so not looking to improve there. Secret is next. He is also not improving. Looks like everybody's heading back into the pits. Banshee's done. That's Mandigo's going off. We have Victor in the chat saying Mandigo is got this in the bag, so we'll see if he can put on a good show tonight in the race. Banshee is into the pits, so most of the field in the pits at the moment, although I think Johnny is going to be next to cross the stripe in the start lap. I believe everybody... Oh no, Mandigo's... That's unfortunate there. Sometimes the game will not like you trying to let people through instead of rejoining dangerously. So he'll have to make a start from the back of the pack tonight. But still, a lot can happen. We're on board with Johnny as he goes down the first DRS straight of the lap. In towards turn 4. And we got Stephen A. fans in the chat as well. Yeah, last week he had some good pace at Hungary, but it was unfortunate with the crash on lap 2. I expect him, he should be a very solid pick for tonight's race. I believe he's about to start his flying lap as well, but we'll jump on board with that in a minute. We're watching Johnny going through the end of the second sector now. Very important to get that exit of Young Cow right, as it sets you up for the longest flat-out section of the lap. Looks to be a pretty decent lap for Johnny and the Williams. Let's see where his time is going to place him. I think that's Esso just behind. Third fastest for Johnny and the Williams. Esso jumps up right behind him in fourth. So very competitive times right now for most of the field. Got both Haas's on the out lap. We'll ride along board with Stephen A. I believe he's pushing on this lap through the middle sector. A bit of traffic up ahead, but hopefully shouldn't play too much of a factor. Maybe even a bit of a tow in the team game for these Alpines. Don't think it's affected him too much, and you can see Boyford not pushing here, but he's going to get a lovely tow here. Hopefully he can get out of the way in time. Look at that, lovely stuff from the Alpines. That's going to put third fastest for Stephen A. So a very solid lap right there. Boyford still on that original set of mediums, so that's not going to be what he wants to. S.E. Smith, he's well up on his time. Championship leader, we know he has the pace. And he does go fastest, a 7.7. Very good lap right there for the championship leader. We know he's going to be one of the favorites. And that shows exactly why. Trying to find the next runner. I think that is going to be El Frances Loco. Another driver making his Tier 2 debut tonight. Driving for Haas in a reserve role tonight. Over 7/10 up on his previous best, so this could see him make a move well into the top 10. Let's see if he can finish out the lap. And he does go put himself 7th fastest, so that is a good opening time here as we approach the second half of this session. Limchak is next. He's a little bit slightly up on his time. Let's see if he can make it count for the rest of the lap. And up to line, he does improve, only to 10th fastest. Before next, Stephen A is finishing up another lap. Don't think he was able to improve though, but he's going to be going again. Boudagou starting his lap as well, as Skadster towards the end of the lap at the moment. So things starting to heat up a little bit as we get towards the end of the session. I think Ray is going to be next. He's over 6/10 up. He was the race winner last week, of course. And he does put himself 5th fastest, but Banshee going up into 4th as well. So time's dropping like crazy. Crusher T on an out lap, he's coming across soon, as well as Raspberries. Secret is a little bit behind, but we're just trying to find the next driver that's pushing. I believe that would be Skadster through the middle sector. Skadster had some good pace at Hungary last week. I believe he was on pole, just couldn't get the result that he needed in the race. Let's see if he can follow that up with a good performance today. This is a long left-hander at the end of sector 2. It's a very difficult corner to get right, and you have to do it well to set yourself up for Young Cow. Looks like he does. Let's see what kind of time this could be. He's only 2/10 off provisional pole at the moment. I believe his delta from the sector 2 split should be enough. Let's see what it is. And it will be pulled provisionally with a 17.6. Very good lap right there. I think is that Spaceman who's going to be next to Cross? It is. Finds himself 7th, so very good lap right there. The Alfa Romeo, that is Esso, who I believe is just starting another lap. Crustier T finishing up 1 as well for Mercedes. Puts himself 13th fastest. Budigu does not improve. Razgriz to 13th. Just secret, now he will be next to Cross. He's had some good pace early on this season. Moves himself up to 2nd. Kraz starting another lap as well, so everything's starting to kick off as we approach the business end of this session. Limchek heading back into the pits. And that's Budigu out of the session. That's at the exit of turn 5, so will not have a chance to improve on his 12th place starting time. Spaceman has been validated, so we'll ride along with Esso and the other Alfa Romeo. He's going to be the next driver to finish the lap. You can see the delta over 5/10 through the first 2 sectors. Esso's been pretty consistent so far this season, solidly in that upper midfield, and he finds himself 5th fastest. You can see the times dropping as the track evolves in this session. Crustier T, he's abandoning that lap heading into the pits. Here's Razgriz. He's not quite on the pace this time. Kraz is going to be the next. He was battling for the championship last season, but has had his struggles so far this season. Let's see if he can recover and put in a nice time here. And he does, puts himself 4th fastest. That is a very good lap right there. Johnny is next for Williams. You can see these guys at the upper half of this field, they're just leapfrogging each other as the session goes on repeatedly. Johnny jumps back up to 5th. Boyfor on the soft tire, that puts himself 12th fastest. So a solid run for him. Oh, Francis Loco, he is starting a new lap. So we'll have to check back on that in a minute. Let's see if Esso, he's well down on his time. So I don't think anybody else on a flyer at the moment. Go back on with Kraz in the event he's going for 2 push laps. Looks like Kraz is going to be staying out. I don't actually know, he will be heading into the pits. Actually, let's see how Francisco, he's going through the end of sector 2 now. He's over 10th up on his time. So this could see him jump up perhaps into the top 10 if he can keep it clean up to the line. And he does improve, but it's only good enough for 12th. So Ray is on an outlap as his Crustier T. A few drivers starting to come out for their final runs of the session. Don't believe anybody else is pushing at the moment, so we'll ride along board with Ray in the AlphaTauri. You can see him taking the wide entry into turn 1. Runs a bit wide at the first apex, so that's going to cost him a bit of time. He's over a 10th down on his personal best. Let's see if he can make that up in the rest of the lap. And up to the line. Seems to be a pretty good lap for the AlphaTauri driver. We've got Esso just behind, who's starting a lap. Let's see, Ray. He jumps up to 6th. So that is a pretty good lap right there. Banshee will be next. Pretty much even on his time through the first 2 sectors. Through the first sector. Gains quite a bit at the second sector. You can see the split in the upper right. See if he can maintain that up to the line. Next behind him is going to be Krusty T. We'll see what Banshee can do here. Puts himself up to 4th, so that's a good lap right there. Krusty T is just a bit down through the first 2 sectors. And is not able to improve. Gasser's on an out lap. As are both the Alpines, perhaps setting themselves up for a bit of a team game right there, you can see. For SC Smith starting a lap as well. And Limchek at the final corner. Does not seem to be pushing us. We'll go along board with Esso. He is also invalidated. It's going to put Razgriz as the next driver on the lap. Let's see if he can improve on his previous best coming up to the line. And he does improve, but it's not enough to move him out of 15th place. Banshee's coming up to the line as well as Johnny to start a lap. Banshee finishing up a lap, I believe. And he improves, but not by enough. Krusty T running through another lap. Not enough. Skadzer's invalidated, so that's not what he would have wanted. Stephen A improves to 7th fastest. Kraz going to the top of the leaderboards. A 107.4. SE Smith jumps behind, just behind with us, 107.5. So time's getting very close as we now hit the end of the qualifying session. These will be the final laps. Esso through the middle sector, well up on his time. He could be challenging for the top. Currently sitting in 9th place. Let's see where this time will land him. Very solid 5th place. Secret is invalidated, so he's not going to be able to finish. Here's Johnny, over 2/10 up. This could be a row 2 or row 1 start. We know he has the pace to be up there. And up to the line, 6th fastest for Johnny. Very decent time. Raskers is ducking into the pits. So Banshee's going to be next. This will be the 3rd lap on this tires. He is not pushing. I think we have Kraz next to Cross as well as Boy 4. Let's check with Kraz provisional pole sitter. He's not going to get there. Stephen A is into the pits. SE Smith is going to be the last man, but he's not close enough. So it'll be Spaceman to end off, but he is also coming into the pits. So I believe that is going to be it for this session. So Kraz taking pole position here alongside SC Smith, and they were the top 2 at Canada, and that was a thrilling race we had, so should be no different here tonight. But we'll have to see what happens here after a few laps. 35 laps the race distance. We're going to take one more run through the qualifying order. It will be Kraz on pole. Next to championship leader SC Smith. The second row will be Skadster and Just Secret. Esso and Johnny on row 3. Banshee in 7th. Stephen A 8th. Ray is 9th. Limchek 10th. Spaceman 11th. Boy 4 12th. El Francis Loco 13th. Budagu is 14th. Razgriz 15th. Krusty T. VTech. Kaz 18th. And Los Mendigus will be starting from the back. Should be a very entertaining grid. I think we're going to see some good action tonight. We've had some brilliant racing the last few weeks in Tier 2, and I think it will stay that way tonight. Alright. Looks like the timer's already counting down. Not sure what's going on with. Alright, just a few more seconds. We'll be underway here from the Interlagos circuit. Looks like we'll be all set for the formation lap. Let's get everything set up. Looks like perfectly sunny skies here in Brazil, so weather should not be a factor tonight. We'll take one more run through the grid order before we get underway. Kraz on pole for Aston Martin. Championship leader SC Smith starting second. Skadster is third in McLaren. Just Secret is fourth. SO is fifth. Johnny is sixth. Banshee seventh. Stephen A is eighth. Ray is ninth. Limpchek is 10th, rounding out the top 10. All starting on the soft tire, of course. Then outside the top 10, we have a Spaceman in 11th on the mediums, as well as Boy4, who is also on the mediums. El Frances Loco 13th, he's starting on the softs. Boudagou 14th on the mediums. Razgriz 15th on the softs. Crustier T 16th. VTech is 17th on the mediums. Kaz is 18th, starting on the hards. Los Mandigos 19th, and Shelley, I believe he's going to be in this race. He might not be able to take control until after the lights have gone out, but through the final couple of corners, it should be about all set to go. Most guys outside the top 10 on softs, not entirely surprising. But we'll have to see what works out best. All right. Getting all set to go as the back of the grid joins up. Should be an entertaining battle. It's a relatively short run down to turn one. And that is not good. So just hang on a minute. Hopefully this should sort things out. Not quite sure what to make of this. Looks like we might have to re-rack things for this real quick. We'll stand by the stream. Uh-oh. this is something new I've never seen before. But it looks like we're gonna get a lobby restart, so the stream will probably shut down, and we'll should have it back up momentarily.